Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and of course one of the biggest movies that will drop this year is Avengers Doomsday. The movie that they shot without a script, never mind a finished script, a script, that half the cast don't even know who they're in scenes with, all this mess. And then we are told reshoots, of course, were inevitable and we're beginning. Now, this article we're going to look at doesn't just confirm that there is reshoots happening because it's from David Harbour. He talks about what he's doing for reshoots, and it's his reshoot parts that they're trying to make this cope of, oh, they're only about to start reshooting. The issue is they started reshoots last month, early last month. But let's have a look at the article, which, by the way, these are the same people who praised Thunderbolts and said how much of a box office success it was. My, how their tune has changed in this article. So it's saying Avengers Doomsday reshoots are scheduled for April, possibly March, and Black Widow and Thunderbolts star David Harbour has now confirmed that he'll be part of them. Now you're seeing they're saying, oh, they're scheduled for April, maybe March. Harbour already shoots that down, which I think is ironic that they don't add that in, which you'll see what I mean. But we know that they've been doing the reshoots since last month. Not just that, but the people who write this article were also the ones that said that. So you're seeing where they're trying to make the cope of, oh, the reshoots aren't going to be a big deal, guys. So it's saying the Stranger Things star is expected to have a sizable role in the movie as Red Guardian, especially as he's a member of the new Avengers. It's also previously been reported that Alexei will develop a friendship with Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. Rumour has it, Avengers Doomsday may have started shooting without a finished script. That's not a rumour, and that's not a may have started shooting. That's fact. That's not a scooper who said that. That was half the goddamn cast that told us there was no script when they were filming. So this rumour has it. No, that came from the horse's mouth. So it's saying, however, after filming wrapped last September, Marvel Studios and the Russo brothers have had plenty of time to refine the story and figure out the best way to bridge the gap to 2027's Avengers Secret Wars. Here's your issue though. You're saying, oh, they've plenty of time to refine the story and stuff, but you've already shot the movie. That's where the issue is. It's, okay, we shot all this stuff. How do we fix it? That's where the reshoots come in. And that's where, if this thing is a mess, and by the way, word from within Marvel Studios, from people in the know, is that this movie is not just a mess. They said it's a fucking mess. Yeah, they got a lot of work to do. They will probably end up reshooting almost the entire movie. But talking in a video, Harbour said, now remember, they said April, possibly March is the reshoots. I've been working a lot, keeping busy, and this little Avengers movie that we got in London, they got a couple more days they want to do. I'm heading there soon and actually going to London for a couple of days. There's a little more filming coming up for Avengers Doomsday. I'm really excited about it. The chemistry with Sebastian Stan and Wyatt Russell on set was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to getting back in there. You know, I can't say anything, but it's gonna be fun. The Russos are killing it, and the whole thing is shaping up to be massive. Now, it's funny where he's saying it's shaping up to be massive, because there's other parts of his interview where he says this is the biggest thing he's ever worked on. He thought Stranger Things season 5 was massive. This thing is massive. You're seeing he's only going there for a couple of days to shoot his stuff. They've been filming half this movie in reshoots since last month. So this idea that, oh, they're going to film in April makes no sense when he says, I'm heading there really soon. So, like, probably this week he's heading there to do this. So it's saying here, it's not exactly a spoiler that Red Guardian will be spending time with Bucky Barnes and US Agent, seeing as they're part of the same superhero team. Now here's the funny part. Thunderbolts struggled at the box office, though that's unlikely to impact plans for the new Avengers in Avengers Doomsday. remember people, this is from the same articles that wrote how successful and a box office success that Thunderbolts was, and now they're saying it struggled at the box office. Interesting how that script flips, really, isn't it? So the movie is expected to feature many casualties, which are inevitable as the final incursion beckons. Will Alexei be among those who fall in battle against Doctor Doom? That remains to be seen. Look, practically everyone dies in this movie, and then they're all coming back with even more people when we get to Secret Wars. So, Avengers Doomsday is still meant to come out December 18th of this year. Whether that still actually happens or they push it back remains to be seen. As of now, depending how much time it takes with these reshoots. If they end up having to do extensive, and I mean extensive reshoots to the point that we're told, oh, they're going to spend at least 3 months, that's a whole film. If we are told that they are spending 3 months in reshoots, then they are reshooting this movie. There are no if, buts, or ands. That is them reshooting the movie in full. So you better hope that word for reshoots is like 3 weeks at most. Anything above that, that's worrying signs. And depending like how much visual effect, well, we know there's going to be a shit ton, but depending how much they have to change now. Because remember, we know this for a fact, because the visual effects artists are the ones who even came out and said this, which is why they wanted to form a union, which I think they still are meant to be forming the union for that. Which was, Marvel would come in, Kevin Feige would walk in and put something down and say, right, we need you to have this guy fly around shooting things. And they're like, okay, what's he shooting? And they're like, don't worry about it, just put him in like between rocks or something, flying around shooting stuff. And they're like, okay. So they do it, and then Kevin Feige would come back within a week of whatever the project is and say, yeah, you need to change that completely now. We don't need them flying around. And there was never anything added to what they were meant to be being attacked by or attacking or anything like that. And they would just go, last minute, you have a week to sort this out, change it again. And they were like, what? So imagine if that happens with this movie. With the amount of, no doubt, insane special effects that they're going to shovel down your throat in this movie. Imagine now the last minute them going in and go, yeah, you have to change all of that now. Yeah, we've changed the entire movie structure and everything. All of that is useless. You have to change everything. Which is also why the visual effects nowadays, with especially Marvel, look dog shit. It's because they don't have any time to actually render the stuff and make it look how it should look, because they're being changed at the last second. So it's gonna be worrying for people to find out that this movie is, number one, gonna be the most expensive movie ever made, and there's no if, buts, ands about that. This thing may have upwards, if not over, a budget of $700 million. That's not an exaggeration. That's realistic. You have to keep in mind, they're giving Robert Downey Jr. $100 million to come back for this thing, and the Russo brothers $80 million. That was straight out the gate. That's before any other cast was announced or anything. So this thing is going to be a colossal budgeted mess, possibly. Realistically, now that they're saying, oh yeah, reshoots are going to happen, but they're not happening until March. They've been happening since last month. The start of the year they've been happening. And I think they may have even done some back in like of November or something, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this thing is shaping up to be a mess. And again, remember, insiders who worked on the thing within the company of Marvel have come out to say, obviously anonymously and stuff, have reached out to other people and said, like, yeah, this thing isn't just a mess, it's a fucking mess. They better hope that they can fix this thing, make it a cohesive story, and better pray that they can stick to that release date. I still think it might move, but time will tell. What do you guys think though? Do you think it will be a mess? Are you surprised that the reshoots are going to take place possibly in April, even though we know that they've been happening already? And what do you think about how The article went from Thunderbolts was a success at the box office to it struggled at the box office. Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.